Peace unto you. I am Nadiie. What's coming through today is what eyes are you perceiving with? The first eye or the eyes of two? This question is very important because as you start to embrace the quickening and your remembrance and all of that good stuff, you'll start to notice that, oh, this spiritual thing is no joke. How people say there's a war going on spiritually. In truth, there is no war. But if you perceive with the eyes of two and a fragment of your first eye, also known as the third eye, you'll see that there is some conflict. Now the conflict simply just comes from the realization that source is within, but I want to combat that because I still want to have fun. That's what basically this whole war is about. If you still want to perceive there is a war. In truth, there ain't no war. It's the ego's game to make you see its illusionary wars, its illusionary pain, its illusionary fear, because it knows, the ego knows, if a God present being sees something, that means it also affirms it to be there. That's how powerful you are, and that's why your energy is very, very powerful. Yes, you as a God present being, if you see this, if you see other videos like this bringing forth that which is the I am, divinity, all of that good stuff, then you're a God present being. If you see something, then you affirm it. You don't have to speak with your tongue. There are multiple ways to speak. We know that just from body language. You can look at one of your best friend's eyes if a situation happens and both of y'all are near each other. Y'all can look at each other's eyes like, and we know what's going on. Y'all can chuckle, y'all can have laughs within. We know what's going on. Y'all telepathically are communicating with each other because you have connected. Your energy signatures have aligned to a point where your soul is comfortable with expressing its full expression to that which is its counterpart, or your best friend, in other words. What eyes are you perceiving with? Do not affirm this craziness that's going on in these Hollywood events, the craziness that's going on in the third dimension as it pertains as a whole. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. Now, this is not a call to dissociate yourself from what's taking place, because what you need to do, or in other words, it serves for a God present being to lay a foundation. See, people don't have a foundation. That's how they get spiritually attacked. I got spiritually attacked before because I didn't have a foundation. But when you start unraveling the truth, you start to see I didn't get spiritually attacked. That was myself showing me that I need to start putting up some spiritual boundaries. It was a test run. Because if you wanted to get spiritually attacked, you would have been up and out of here. Because if you hear what they doing to all of these people in these islands and stuff like that, you're not going through nothing. You would have been up and out of here. They would have been got you by the ropes. You would have been good. Kiss freedom goodbye. So if you ever felt like anxiety or all of this crazy spiritual experiences is happening to you that isn't very loving, that is yourself preparing you for the true quote-unquote battle, the true war, if you still want to perceive in war. It's preparing you through the muck, the dark night of the soul. See, there's multiple levels to dark night of the soul. You have the personal one you go through, and the personal one, depending on how your plan was set up before incarnation, your personal dark night of the soul can be broken up into multiple pieces. Some people that feel like they can't handle all that craziness wants to break it up. They'll say, okay, God, instead of willing in one person, because let's say you have codependent issues, instead of you having one relationship with all of the lessons in that one person, you know, that may make you homeless and question your sanity and all that crazy stuff. You say, God, I don't want to go through that. So give me about 4 or 5 women or men to deal with, and we'll go from there. But you also have the spirit warriors, and the spirit warriors says, sign me up. I'm not trying to come back here, and if I do come back here, it's because I'm trying to help everybody else, not because I got stuff to do. So sign me up. So the one that are the spirit warriors, we go through the muck of it. So we go through the first dark night of the soul, whole. First dark night of the soul, up and out of here. We going broke, we losing jobs, we losing friends, we cutting off family members, we almost killing ourselves. We going through it. We seeing spirits talking to us good and the bad, our dreams acting crazy, witches targeting us, warlocks targeting us, all these beings. We go through it. But then we come out of it. And we say, yeah, ain't nothing but a scratch. And matter of fact, that is a fake scratch on a fake body, so I'm all the way good, 100%. And then when Source sees that you have moved through that dark night, Source is going to ask you this question: are you perceiving with the eyes of two or your first eye? And if you say, I'm perceiving with my first eye, Source is going to say, all right, well, go within and see what you just went through. Tell that back to me. Let's see if you actually learned your quote-unquote lessons. And in truth, you had nothing to learn, but Source meets you where you are. If you feel like you have stuff to learn, Source is going to be like, all right, what have you learned? Let's talk to me. If you say anything revolving around duality, like, oh yeah, this girl, she was acting crazy, this dude acting crazy, or I almost got in a fight with that person, that job was no good anyways, that job just wanted to hate on my success, all of that, you're going to repeat that whole dark night, the whole thing. Start from square one. Because the lesson from lesson one, the moment you step into that dark night of the soul territory, is going to assist you with the last lesson of that first dark night of the soul. You got to perceive everything through the eyes of God, with your first eye. If you had a job that, letting you go, or you just felt like you had to quit, just shift your perception. That's all it is. Shift your perception. Instead of saying there was no good, they was hating on me and all this craziness, just say, our times together, me and that job, has served. Everything that I wanted to do, as it pertained to the energy signature that job represented, no longer aligns with me because I have risen in my vibration. Or I am more in love, more in tune with that which is oneness. This job represents duality. There's nothing good or bad about it. It's just not for me anymore. I'm grateful for them. I forgive myself for even perceiving anything other than that which is love. And I forgive them as well. Let's move forward. Boom. Lesson done. And just do that for all the lessons. It's a loophole. Be more in love. Forgive yourself for perceiving anything other than love. Forgive the other people for participating in the non-love. Very simple. Keep it pushing. The second phase of the dark night of the soul for us spirit warriors is, we got to deal with the collective dark night of the soul. Well, I didn't sign up for that. Yes, you did. You're a spirit warrior. Remember, you are a being of oneness. What does oneness mean? Of the many. So you are not going to be only dealing with your stuff. You're going to be dealing with everybody's stuff. And when you are embracing that which is Christ consciousness, remember there was a being, Yeshua. They call him the Master of Masters, A.K.A. Jesus. Yeshua stated something of the sort of, I'm going to go through this so you don't have to. That's what the spirit warriors do. So Yeshua got one piece. It was a nice giant chunk of duality out the way. But there's still many pieces that being wasn't able to deal with as that being was in flesh because they wasn't introduced yet. See, all of this, taking people to islands and algorithms, messing with your mind, and all this technology and all that kind of crazy stuff that we got going on, these new problems, Yeshua can't deal with those problems because he wasn't around when technology and all this crazy stuff was being invented. So it's up for the new messiahs. It's up for the new spirit warriors. It's up for us. Just we don't gotta take a giant piece like Yeshua. We just gotta embrace that which is the I am and take a small piece because there's enough of us. Back then there was only a few of beings that were aware, and they came far and few. Now we are awakening as a whole planet. That it's not normal in galactic. If you study galactic history, an entire planet waking up is just not normal. It just doesn't happen. Like an entire planet of Yeshua's, that's what we are. An entire planet of Christ consciousness. How? So we don't need to just look up to one person. All of us has to play our part. And to play your part in this collective, this consciousness of humanity, that dark night of the soul, the second phase of it is hold space. When I say hold space in all that is spirit. You have conquered the flesh. Or if you don't like to use the word conquer, you have embrace that which is spirit enough to where the flesh served its purpose. Now, before you go to sleep, set your intentions to hold unconditional love for all. Before you walk outside, because doors are portals, before you open any door, set an intention to what you want to see on the outside.